My name is Reagan and Calen, and I've been doing parkour for around 5-ish years on and off, but professionally, like hardcore, doing it every day, about 2 years. I got into parkour through YouTube. I started with gymnastics first because that was the only thing I knew. And once I saw videos of people doing flips outside, is when I was sold and I found my passion and I quit gymnastics and I was hooked. What I love about parkour is the fact that you do not need any equipment. Like with any other sports, you need a ball or you need a skateboard or scooter. But with parkour, you just use your body and it's mastery of your body. The biggest challenge as of right now for me in practicing parkour is coming to the gym and that it's winter out and cold outside. That's really hard when it's not, you just don't want to be outside because it's cold. Having a husband that does the same thing as you, your same passion, is the most amazing thing ever. Like, that's not very common, but when you have both the same passion, you're literally always together and there's no reason to be apart. He does a lot of inspiring, cool tricks, and that's really easy to pick up after him.
My name is Calen Chan, and I'm a professional parkour and freerunning athlete. I got into parkour originally from my cousin when we were 8 years old. We found parkour on YouTube, but I didn't really get hooked into it until I took my first parkour classes and met the community when I was around 14, and that was like 9 years ago. That was 9 years ago, and ever since I've been hooked. I took my first parkour class at this place called the Reagan Gymnastics, and the parkour coaches were just teaching on Saturdays. And it was a blast. I learned so many things that I never thought that I would do. Having a wife that does parkour is like the best thing ever because we actually met doing parkour, and it's so awesome because parkour is kind of who I've become, and having a wife that I can be myself around, and when I am pursuing my passion can also be with her as well and not have to change anything in my life is a really big advantage for me. So how I go about learning new tricks and lines, it's all about getting inspired first. I get inspired by seeing other people that inspire me on the internet doing something that I think is really cool, or sometimes I even have dreams of doing a new trick or a line, and I just go and I visualize it and I try and make it happen, do all the progressions to get there and make sure that I'm staying safe, and then go for it. Some of the misconceptions about parkour: lots of people think that we are some really dangerous daredevils that are just pushing the boundaries all the time and have this ridiculous mentality and that we're not afraid of anything. That's not really the case. Lots of people get into parkour because they have fears and because they want to learn to overcome. I believe that everyone has it in them to bring themselves to do things that they don't think that they're capable of doing, and parkour is one of the big answers to that problem. So some of the craziest things that I've been able to do in my parkour journey, some are really incredible tricks that no one in the world has done, and some other things I've gotten opportunities to do because of those tricks and other lines is go to the Red Bull Art of Motion twice and other international competitions and getting stunt jobs all around the world, getting to work with big YouTubers. It's pretty amazing all the opportunities that I've gotten from parkour. My mentality when I am going into a competition for parkour, it's really funny because you never know what to expect. You think there's going to be all this pressure, you see everyone prepping their lines, but then when the competition actually starts, everyone is just so stoked and it feels more like a performance with teammates versus an actual competition versus each other. And so mentally prepping, you want to think safety first and just have fun and express yourself. Some of the biggest risks of practicing parkour is practicing things that you're not prepared for, or doing something that you haven't done the progressions to yet. We can hurt ourselves in very simple ways if we're not preparing correctly. Injuries are really difficult to come back from, especially when they're big ones, because when we get hurt, we're not just thinking about the pain, we're thinking, how long am I going to be out? Because we love doing this movement so much, and I've had my fair share of injuries as well. So it can be difficult, but people are always really supportive, and I always believe that you can do better than what you're doing now, and you can always bounce back in some form or another if you choose to do that. If you want to get into parkour, don't hesitate to do it. Even if you don't want parkour to be your passion, parkour is an amazing way to help yourself be safer in your environment It helps you learn how to fall correctly. It can also help you with your coordination. Lots of people say that they're not coordinated enough to do parkour, but I think it's the other way around. You learn parkour so you can learn coordination and being comfortable with your body and overcoming challenges.